So I don't know if you remember this, but last year I said that if it turned out that the Rockies were right about their players, the Rockies were going to have a good season. And I don't know if you remember this, but the Rockies did not have a good season. And the team batted .230 as a team, which is not good. That any individual player batting .230 would be like, that guy needs to get off the team. Whole team. That was the combined team's batting average.
Everyone Ian Desmond last year.
And Desmond was above .230. That's how bad the team was. And they made no moves to their Major League roster in the offseason. They're bringing everybody back. And so the question comes now that we've had this offseason of Nolan Arenado being disgruntled. So how do you keep Nolan? The only answer, you're just sitting there like, I don't know what the answer is. There isn't a really good answer because the answer is it turns out that the Rockies were right about their players last year. It just didn't work out last year, and somehow it's going to work out this year.
I mean, well, the statistics show that the Rockies are due for a 94-win season based off of, I don't know. Baseball math is hard as hell.
According to someone Dick Monfort knows, they should win 94 games this year.
Well, okay. So is he going to make that person GM now?
I probably would like his demeanor better than Jeff Bridich. I can't imagine him being worse.
So what do you mean exactly that they were right about their players last year?
So they have the exact same team coming back, other than they've gotten rid of like the Mark Reynolds and Chris Ionetas, the veteran guys. They bring them back, and it turns out that everyone was just hurt and had an off year. And that Jeff Bridich is the smartest GM in the history of Major League Baseball. Nolan Arenado was completely wrong in the way that he assessed it, to the point where he has to apologize for how wrong he was. That's what we're looking for here.
You know, I haven't allowed myself to dream that scenario to be the case, but sure. Okay, we're working off of that scenario.
Kyle Freeland and German Marquez battling for the Cy Young. You know, that level of optimism. Chichi Gonzalez, great fifth starter here. Obviously I don't think this is going to happen, but I'm just saying, like, this is the best scenario, and maybe the only scenario for Nolan to still be on the team August 1st. Yeah. I will say, so some things have happened in the last few days. Apparently Dick Monfort and Nolan Arenado met, and Dick promised Nolan that if it turns out that Nolan's right and the team is wrong, they would make some trades this year to make the team better. Additionally, there was some talk that Yasiel Puig might be coming to the Rockies to replace the hole in the outfield that seems to be, they don't think Toppy is the guy. But don't worry, the Rockies said absolutely not. We're not going to improve the team like that. And, I mean, there are a lot of knocks against Puig. He is kind of a locker room problem at times. He's kind of, you never know what you're going to get with him.
No, but the Rockies aren't a very scrappy team, and you know Yasiel Puig has your back if things are to go down.
And I think I saw somewhere in his last 80 plate appearances, he's netted 21 runs. So 1 out of 4 times at the plate, someone scores. Pretty good.
For a team that seems to, regardless of what the roster makeup, the Rockies are a left-on-base kind of squad. So having a guy who can get people to home, that would be amazing. That seems like an upgrade, yeah?
Yeah.
Certainly an upgrade over everyone who's already there.
Well, I mean, so you have Blackman and Dahl are your 2 outfielders. And, of course, Dahl is the question mark of, is this the year he stays healthy?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have maybe Desmond is still going to play on the outfield a little bit. He's also your backup first baseman. And then you have Hampson and Hilliard and Tapia. Tapia as your top guy, as the other outfield people, with Hampson also allowed to play second base maybe, depending on if the Murphy-Desmond experiment goes as poorly as it probably is going to go. Yeah. If history repeats itself. If it turns out the Rockies were not right about their free agents.
I mean, like, yeah, how do you make this team better? I don't think Yasiel Puig puts them over the edge. That certainly doesn't make them now competitive with the Dodgers. But it just feels like you need a mix-up, because you think about, like, through all of this, how bad does the team chemistry have to be if everyone knows that their star player doesn't have confidence in them to be a competitor?
Well, and even if you don't want to get Puig, why not just pretend like you want to get Puig? What does it hurt to be like, no, we're going to try to be in on one thing this year because we've refused to pretend to be in on anything else?
And with like so much money that has gotten passed around in the MLB, I think Denver is a better baseball destination than it is a basketball destination. Like, we know the Nuggets aren't going to sign high-profile free agents, but I don't think that stigma exists for the Rockies.
No, I mean, especially hitters. Like, hitters, this is the dream. Justin Morneau won a batting championship here 3 years before he retired.
That was a weird thing. Yeah, both Kadire and Justin Morneau were on the team for a hot second.
Yeah, they both just came in, won some batting titles, and left. Like, that's the dream of hitters.
Yeah.
So spring training will have started before our next podcast. We're recording this Friday evening. Saturday, we finally get to see the team on the field. The big hope, Ubaldo Jimenez is throwing. Maybe he's going to be on the roster. Drew Butera trying to get that backup catcher spot.
Ooh.
There is intrigue on this team. And Wade Davis proclaimed the closer, despite the fact that he was so bad last year.
Has Wade Davis said anything about this?
I'm sure he has. I can't say that I've followed too closely. The main thing I've followed is that Ian Desmond's hair is out of control. And I was super excited today because I wanted to know how he was going to get the hair under his hat. And it is sort of like a poking out thing, at least in the pictures I saw today.
I got like viscerally upset. Like, this guy is too handsome for his own good. And he's like the older dude, his hairline is still immaculate. If only he could channel his batting into his good looks, then we'd have no problems. But the fact that he may be the only free agent you can point to, it's like, okay, I guess he still belongs on the team. Because I don't even think you mentioned, like, Brendan Rodgers, who has been, like, the number one guy in the farm system for how long now?
Like 4 years.
His I think, shoulder surgery hasn't gone well enough yet. So it's really hard to talk about the Rockies as training camp is starting because you don't have anything new to talk about, and the expectations are too high for what you know is going to be the case. We'll see. The Diamondbacks shouldn't be good this year, and
no, they're going to have some company there at Salt River Fields.
I think Salt River should be changed to something less depressing.
Yeah, it is a beautiful place. Someday we should do a Denverse road trip to Salt River
That'd be
Fields.
nice.